Hi cats and kittens, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. And today we are continuing with Fallstreak. We just got done reading the book of a lonely girl who built herself a ton of dolls to not be lonely. And one day the doll woke up and began to speak, only to find that her creator herself was doll. She replaced her body parts with being a doll. When I come to, I find myself lying on the bed. Even before I opened my eyes, I knew. Still here, huh? Curling into a loose ball, I find the book I had picked out by my side. I run my fingers through the book's nameless binding. Its blank roughness corresponds. A world where nothing is unexpected and everything is defined by you. A universe of only one. Sounds a little familiar, Adelaide. You're in a universe of one. I wonder what if people were to gods as dolls were to the girl. Dolls cannot act on their own, and the puppeteer that controls them can never be ignorant of what they would do, because on an intrinsic level, their actions are the puppeteers. In a similar vein, people can laugh, cry, and sing, but is their laughter and lamentations the product of their free will? Or is it all simply the dictation of an unseen script? Sigh. Creating an existence other than your own and breathing life into it, loving it with all your heart and giving it your everything. Yet no matter what you do, it will never be able to escape the intrinsic quality of being but an extension of your soul. The despair of knowing your creation can never possess free will or the capacity to grow on its own. It makes you question if you yourself have free will. It makes you question if even God has free will. For if an omniscient entity knows everything, even about its own decisions in the future, does that not forbid free will to that entity? Perhaps free will truly doesn't exist. But even then, I think we should believe that it does. What do you think about that, Tubby? Musing to myself, I turned my gaze to the floor next to the bed. The book I picked out for Tubby in the Celestial Library was lying there with not a single page turned. What are you, a bumpkin? Don't doze off at the mere sight of a book. At least try to read some of it. When I blink and look again, Tubby's book, which has been on the first page, was suddenly on the last. You're not fooling anyone into thinking you read all of that in the blink of an eye. I'm quite conscious of the fact that everything in this exchange is merely a part of a script I have imagined, but the spirited facades like these were important for keeping my sanity intact. I'm just like the girl in the story, aren't I? Life's most fundamental quality is that it subverts non-existence. Perhaps it could even be said that it was life's most intrinsic purpose to be something rather than nothing. Something, anything that defies nothingness, anything, everything that fills the world with color and movement. It was the most base and pure of impetus. A blank canvas must be painted over, no matter what that means. But even the most beautiful canvases are as null as dust, if not shared. A heavy sigh as I rest my head on the book. Being left alone for so long with nothing but your own thought gnaws at you. Since I never got tired here, and there was no night, the only thing to dictate when I slept was whim. Entry and exit from the golden dream didn't seem to have any rhyme or reason to it. There have been times where I've wakened in an alternate after simply shutting my eyes for a bit. Good evening, Tubby. Mumbling something that would make sense anywhere else, I begin to doze off. Fading away, for some reason, I am struck with the inexplicable conviction that Tubby would make for an amazing pillow. Tubby pillows for sale. Buy one, get one free. No refunds will be issued if for some reason your product has no actual physical form. Are we into dreamland? Or are we just going to wake up in the sunny, sunny land? Okay. chirp, 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 chirp. The sound of chirping birds, a song that brings me release, so sweet, I feel my entire body going slack with relief. As my eyes adjust to the warm sunlight flowing through the window, I let out a breath so deep one would think I'd been holding it the entire night. A light breeze rustles the curtains, brushing against my cheek the way one would tenderly caress someone to ease them from their slumber. It's probably something few others would ever think about, but the air of the world we live in is alive. It's full of movement, weight, and subtle sense. There is texture to it that the golden streams, ersatz, air, can never compare. I'm back! The sights and sensations of the waking world fill me with the maddening familiar hunger, like the desire to gorge on rich stimuli surrounding me. Speaking of eating, something smells good. The appetizing aroma of breakfast being prepared tickled at my nose, prompting me to slip out of the comfort of my bed. Ooh. Doesn't this look cozy? Oh my god, if I ever could redecorate a house, I would definitely do this. On such high ceilings. After wrapping up my morning dailies, I descend the stairs to the kitchen, where a bowl of chicken congee already awaited me. Oh, there's a guy. We have a new person! We're not alone in the golden slumber world. Cecil. Good morning. Good morning, Ade. Did you have a restful night? Yes, it was golden. Holding up the OK sign, I blow furiously on a spoon of hot rice porridge before guiding it to my mouth. Ah! I give a little yelp as my tongue scorches from the unexpected heat. Careful, it's fresh out of the pot. Papa makes a troubled expression as he watches me squirm around in my seat. That's Papa? Ah! Hot, hot! Somehow the pain was not unwelcome. This, too, was one of the tiniest treasures of an ordinary life, after all. You seem to be in high spirits today, Ade. Something happening at school? Papa pushes a glass of water over to me as he prudently wafts his own chow. Once liberated from the congee searing heat, I think back to the day before the golden dream. I believe we're having a bridge construction contest today. Ah, that would explain why you were collecting all those materials last night. Will you be able to carry that all to school, though? Seems a bit heavy. Do you doubt my strength? With a swaggering smile, I flex my legendary textbook-toting biceps. Please get Noletta to help you. I promptly finished eating my meal at the expense of my tongue's outer layers. Usually I'm not too fond of Papa's cooking since he's rather conservative with what he makes. But for some reason his homey chow congee was an exception. After washing up, I retrieve everything I need and go to put my shoes on. Papa follows along to the door to see me off as he always does. It's okay if you don't win the contest, you know. Just try to have fun. Reaching down, he rubs the side of my head with the pad of his fingers. It was a familiar and comforting sensation, but somehow it made me feel a little lonely. If I don't win, how will I ever realize my long-standing dream of becoming a master bridge builder? As if to escape that lonesome feeling, something facetious escapes my mouth. That's the first I've heard of such a dream. Papa gives a helpless sigh as he withdraws his hand. Take care, Ade. Stay safe. Bye, Papa. See you later. Ooh, look at the countryside. Running out to behold the clear blue sky in the morning was the best way to start the day. But that's not to say I don't love running out to an overcast sky. A rainy sky, a misty sky, a windy sky, a snowing sky. They were all lovely, they were all the best. I find her at the edge of the sprawling green field that makes up our property. A figure so still, they seem to blend in with the very landscape. Ah, Noletta! Good morning, Nade. Her rubescent eyes fixate on me as she greets with a blank expression. Wrong! Reaching out with both index fingers, I push up the corners of her mouth. Greetings should be done with a smile. Is she a doll? Noletta inclines her head, causing her snow-white hair to tickle my wrist. What? Good morning, Nade. A giggle escapes when Noletta tries again with an oddly charming smile I've shaped with my fingers. Good morning! Good morning, Noletta! I beam a big smile at her to drive my point home. Noletta Rue, a girl shrouded in mystery to the point where her age was even unknown. She was clearly older than me, though, with an appearance that suggested around 14 or 15 if I had to guess. Despite that, she was very innocent, alarmingly so, in fact. One time, we sent her on an errand at the bakery, and she almost ended up stealing, utterly oblivious to the concept of exchanging currency for goods. That's why I like her so much. Her presence has the effect of making even the familiar and routine feel new and fresh, as if you were experiencing the world for the first time again. It's strangely liberating watching Noletta stare in awe at something as simple and mundane as someone kneading dough, for example. The world is full of ordinary treasures that lie unnoticed right before us, only we don't realize it unless it's framed in the eyes of another's innocence. Question mark? Even now, Noletta was staring fixedly at the big bag of materials hanging from my back. Do you remember? We're supposed to bring in materials for the bridge construction project today. To build a bridge, you need materials. Noletta makes an expression of wonder as if the thought had never crossed her mind. I didn't bring materials. It's okay, I got you covered. I brought enough for the both of us. Thanks, Ade. It'll be tasty. Huh? Disjointed conversations like this, where it feels like you're not really on the same page with Noletta, aren't uncommon, but that's just because of her way of thinking is unique. In this case, when I said I brought enough for the both of us, she probably immediately made the association with lunch. So food's on her mind right now, huh? A question, vermicelli friend. Is Bressel already off smelling the flowers? Noletta pauses and stares at me for a moment before nodding. You went cooking with Mr. Daimler. Why am I silly? Wow, perfect score! While it may seem odd at first, Noletta's way of thinking is admirably fluid. Yes, something like this should be admired, shouldn't it? I knew you could do it, yeah! Bouncing on my feet, I reached up and reward her with a happy head pat. Though it is slight, my praise draws a smile from her. Playing with Noletta is the best! It's fun going along with her train of thoughts. Anyhow, Bressel was Noletta's older brother. Both of the Rue siblings were quite unversed in the world for their age. It's something I've wondered about ever since they came to reside on our property around a year ago. Okay, let's go meet up with the others. I often think about it, though. Noletta's in the lower effective grade than me, despite being a fair deal older. It's true that my physical age reflects little due to the time I've spent in the Golden Dream. But if I'm ahead of my time because of the Golden Dream, for what reason could Noletta be behind hers? I study Noletta's expressionless profile quietly as I walk by her side. Noletta! Adi! A voice that conjured an image of an excited puppy bounding up to you, his tail wagging, interrupts my scrutiny. Just when the voice's owner is about to spring on us, though, she suddenly freezes in place with a flustered expression. Oh no! I forgot to try out the trendy new surprise greeting all the rage nowadays! It's a bit late for that now. Don't look, Noletta! Don't you see me? Though she clearly doesn't follow, Noletta obediently complies with Loretta's instructions. All right. Romping behind her, Lorona throws her hands over Noletta's eyes. Who is it? Ah, it went dark. Guess who it is? Guess who it is? I don't know. Object permanence is something you develop when you're an infant, Noletta. I'll give you a hint, Noletta. It starts with an L and ends with an A. Oh, and you love eating it. Starts with an L, ends with an A, and is yummy. Lasagna? What? Don't turn me into a pasta casserole. Lasagna. Pain, Lorona, no heed. Noletta takes hold of one of the hands covering her eyes and stuffs it in her mouth. Nom nom nom. Ah, don't eat me, it's Lorona, Lorona, I tell you. Lorona flails in panic as Noletta latches on with her teeth. Meet Lorona. Though she might strike you as the type of airhead that gets lost tottering after butterflies, she's quite responsible, though not necessarily reliable individual. Despite being only 15, she is a talented textile artisan that helps support the orphanage that she calls home with her earnings. It's a wonder she has... It's a wonder she has... Don't just stand there narrating. Do something, Ade. I need time to sleep between helping care for her children, her craft, and school. If I were to describe her in short title, it would be Unreliable Moral Compass. What kind of title is that? Doesn't taste like lasagna. After coming to the conclusion that Lorona was indeed not lasagna, Noletta finally lets go. Trying to eat people is bad, okay, Noletta? Okay. Anyways, good morning, lasagna. It's Lorona, not lasagna. You're confusing her, Ade. Good morning, lasagna. I'm having an identity crisis. Oh no, it says lasagna. There. I give lasagna a pat on the noggin as she curls up and cradles in her hut. If it makes you feel better, you go pretty well with garlic bread. With a sad sound like air escaping a balloon, lasagna deflates into the ground. Oh, nothing to see here. Though Noletta seems curious about lasagna's newly acquired two-dimensional state, she follows after me as I make a leave to scene. Together, the two of us enjoy a nice, relaxing stroll to school. Don't just leave me behind! Lorona, wake up! You're not lasagna! As the three of us travel alongside a stream that winds towards our destination, we happen upon a dead wayfarer. Come on, Trish! Canoodle the ground some other time! A displeased girl could be seen, impatiently tapping her foot beside the corpse in question. It was easy to see why he had succumbed. An absurd amount of project gear was strapped to his back, enough that it practically buried his prone figure. Aw, poor Trish. You shouldn't rush him, since he's carrying your stuff too, Kalia. He's just carrying my usual bag. The rest is just junk I told him to leave behind. He always brings a bunch of garbage we never actually use whenever we have projects. Jeez. As Lorona begins liberating Trish from his burden, Noletta crouches down next to his body and stretches out her hand. Ah. Her hand halts as the body in question suddenly stirs and rises to its feet. It's alive. Watch out, Noletta, it's a zombie. Zombie? It's a reanimated corpse that likes eating people's brains. Trying to eat people is bad, Mr. Zombie. Faced with Noletta's inexplicable astonishment, Trish seemed at a loss. Hope you enjoy your nap. These two were 11-year-old Lara twins, Kala and Tristan. Though we make an effort to walk to school together, the Larets were habitually late, making today a rare occurrence where the five of us were present. As for Rai, Trish is carrying Kala's bag. In addition to his own load, it was simple. Kala had no arms to speak of below the elbows. Wounds from the fire of the collapse that befell 9 years ago, there were many in Suckletrine who bore similar disfigurations. Trish as well had not remained unscathed. The smoke from the prismatic flames of that day had stripped him of his voice, rendering him mute. They were heavy scars, yet they never seemed to weigh down the Larrett twins. Always on the move, with new things happening in their presence all the time, it made me want to continue watching them, to see where they go and where they might take me. Okay. Wow, spring's really showing its full colors this year. Wandering over the wayside willow, Lorena marvels at the bed of flowers nestled under its leaves. Aha! I know! Over here, Noletta! Lorena waves Noletta after picking several flowers from a particularly bountiful patch. I'm going to teach you something nice, so listen up. Taking Noletta's hands in hers, Lorena threads a flower between her fingertips. One way to show people you care about them is to place a flower in their hair like this. Gently guiding Noletta's hand, Lorena guides the flower up and through her carroty locks. Get it? After examining her newly exchanged appearance for a bit, Noletta nods. If you understand, then show me. Lorena entrusts the rest of the flowers to Noletta with a smile. After gazing at the flowers for a while, Noletta seemed to come to a sort of confusion. Kala, Trish, and I care about you. Whew. You don't have to listen to everything Lorena tells you, you know. In contrast to Kalia's flustered reaction, Trish expresses himself with a heartful bow as he is graced by an angel. Guess it's my turn next. As Lorena reaches out with the last remaining flower, I'm cast with a spell of whimsy. The last moment, I tilt my head to the side, causing her to miss. Noletta attempts to place the flower in my hair again, but I pull away once more. You won't let me? Nope. Let me. Undeterred, Noletta tries to put the flower in my hair again. Noletta can be quite stubborn at times, but I just don't feel like letting her have her way. The last remaining flower. Okay, fine. With a shrug, I stop moving and keep still. But just as she was about to thread the stem through my hair, I pluck it out of her head, reaching up and setting it upon her snow-white tresses instead. Putting a finger on her lips, I stick my tongue out at her. Gotcha! I smile and wink triumphantly. Uh-oh, she looks pretty upset. A pale white flower suits you far more than me anyways. After puzzling over my words for a moment, Noletta nods quietly to herself. I need to find a flower that suits Ade. How sad. It seems there aren't any flowers left here ready for picking. I'm going ahead. Wait, Trish still needs help carrying his stuff, but Noletta doesn't seem to hear. Kana, could one of you lend us a hand? Exchanging a glance with me, Kalia dangles her empty sleeves with a shrug before skipping off ahead. This calls for immediate invasive action. You got this, big sis Lorena. Snapping my fingers at her, I turn on my heels and bow. Hey! Don't only pull the big sis card when it's convenient. Upon catching up to Kalia's side, I slow to a stroll. As if in agreement that we had witnessed nothing, the two of us mosey along in silent solidarity. Though I have to say it's pretty funny how good of a mood Noletta's simple act has put Kalia in. You know, it's not just Noletta. Bending forward to get a good angle on her face, I gaze into Kalia's eye. I care about you, too. What? Shut up! I'm not stupid, and you're trying to tease me again like you do always. You're such a little troll. How dare you? I'm a sweet young girl. Still, I wonder why this always seems to happen. Oh, here's Noletta. Alright, we're going to save here, and we're going to continue the story.